the pod bay doors.
Greetings and welcome to another exciting episode of the Cinematic Travelers. I am your intrepid movie exploring host Chris, and on this special brief episode, I am going to review a new movie that just hit the theaters. I will be doing it without my usual millennial co-hosts, as they have lives. They get to go out and have fun. I just go to movie theaters, which is kind of boring for me, but it's great for you because I am going to review a movie that I have been waiting for. Because I don't know if you could tell if you're watching the video right over my shoulder here, there's an autographed picture of my favorite director who is directing this film, Sam Raimi, who brings us Send Help. And I just wanted to jump on here and give you my spoiler-free thoughts, let you know if it's worth watching the movie. Although I did say he was my favorite director, so you probably won't be surprised by my final verdicts. But I do want to be brief, so we'll just get through the podcast or mumbo jumbo. Whatever you're listening to the show on, please follow, subscribe, like, all that fun stuff. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment. You can follow us on our social media. Instagram's the best way to do it, at Cinematic Travelers Pod. There, I got through all of that quick, fast, in a hurry. Like I said, I don't want to keep you long on this episode. As I mentioned, Send Help is directed by Sam Raimi, and we start out the movie in the city, in a corporate office where we meet Linda, a sort of frumpy, not too popular employee of the company. However, she is exceptional at her job. She is played by, of course, the lovely Rachel McAdams. And Linda has been promised this vice president's position in the company by the founder of the company. Unfortunately, he passes away. We do get one of our first Sam Raimi cameos. There are two very early on in the movie. Let's see if you could pick up on those. But yeah, so he passes away and his son takes over the business. His son Bradley, played by Dylan O'Brien, who is a bit of a spoiled brat prick asshole, basically. And he doesn't like Linda, but he offers her an opportunity to prove herself to him on this company meeting. They're having this merger, I think Bangkok, maybe that's where they're flying. So they take the company jet, and as they are crossing the ocean, the jet malfunctions and crashes into the water. And the only two survivors who wash up on the shore of an uninhabited island are Linda and Bradley. And now our frumpy little shy employee is in her element. Oh, how the turntables turn. If I could quote Michael Scott there. And you get all kind of fun twists and turns and revelations and things that I will not spoil. I will let you know, though, this is a Sam Raimi movie. So both of our actors are going to get covered in lots of blood and snot and dirt and vomit and you name it. Sam Raimi is going to throw it on his actors in these movies. So that's the basic plot. Like I said, I don't want to give anything away. And let's just move into the positives. What I liked about this movie, obviously, it's Sam Raimi. God, he's so good. God, he's so good. And I love seeing him in this type of movie. I know he did a Doctor Strange movie not too long ago. The one before that was Drag Me to Hell, a very underrated horror movie that of course, I love. I know I'm going to say that a lot throughout this episode. But yeah, it's nice to see him doing an original story and not really being hampered by something like Marvel or some of the bigger studios who they hire Sam Raimi, but they don't want Sam to be Sam, although he always sneaks in his little Samisms here and there. Well, this one, he gets to be the Sam Raimi we know and love. It's a beautiful looking movie. He uses the island, the isolation on there. He uses that whole atmosphere between the heat and the night and what's crawling around out there in this unknown jungle that they have to deal with. And of course, Sam is very good at using the surroundings to really pull you into the movie. He keeps it moving right along. You kind of get the setup very early on, and then next thing you know, you're into the plane crash, and then you're onto the island. So you're not, like I said, it's under 2 hours long, so it's really moves along at a pretty good pace. You do get some great character work between Rachel McAdams, Linda, and Bradley, Dylan O'Brien, that we'll get to their performances in a minute. But as far as their characters are concerned, again, it's it's so nice to watch a movie where characters have, I don't know, arcs, and they're not exactly what they seem to be all of the time, and they're not perfect in every single way. That's kind of what I thought at the beginning of this movie, that you had the setup with the jerk asshole boss, and then the basically the worker who has been used, and all of her hard work has been sort of taken over by other employees to improve their status with the company. So you kind of felt like, okay, she's going to be this goody goody, and then she's going to get the upper hand. Well, again, I don't want to give things away, but things in this movie takes twists and turns, especially the characters, and it's so nice to watch that on screen. You get a lot of information about these characters, especially Linda, without having to be told that. There's a great moment in this apartment where the camera moves along and it just kind of shows her things in the apartment that are going to pay off later in the movie. Yeah, setups and payoffs. Oh, it's amazing. I have missed this. I have missed this. But yeah, Sam knows when to kind of hold back and let the characters and the actors bring you some really strong performances. And he also has those moments where he goes, I don't want to say full on Sam Raimi. We're not going to get full on Sam Raimi anymore. We're not getting Evil Dead 2 Sam Raimi ever again. I love it, but he's matured past that. Just like we're not going to get Raiders of the Lost Ark Steven Spielberg ever again. You know, that's just something that happens with these directors that move. But there are moments where you get Sam Raimi and he's winking at you the whole time, and he's making you laugh with his over the top gore, or you get some scares. I'll get to some things in the negatives about that, but you know, you get a few scares that he's great at setting up and paying off, and then you get reveals as the movie goes along that make you sort of root for this person and then root for that person, and then the end is just it's just glorious. It's almost full on Sam Raimi at the end. So yes, it was fun as a fan of his to see those moments in the movie, but also to see a movie that, like I said, is coherent. You got character arcs, you've got setups and payoffs, and you get a nice spin at the end. And God, I just don't want to ruin anything. All right, so I could go on and on about Sam Raimi. He's great. The movie looks great. It's fun in that regard. I mentioned the actors, Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. They're the actors that carry about 95% of this movie. That's all that it is, just those two on the island. And as I mentioned, they start off with something that feels very, and I know Sam's not known for his subtlety. So at the beginning of the movie, as I mentioned, there was no subtlety. She is, getting basically dumped upon at work, and he's just an asshole. But then you get to the island and you do get some subtlety and you get some twists and turns with these characters. And like I said, not everybody is what you think from the beginning of the movie. And then things will turn again on you. And you're like, wait a minute, they were this way, now they're back that way. So there's a lot of work here for these actors to sink their teeth into. And both of them carry the movie. Rachel McAdams, I think she's great anyway. But yeah, she carries this movie. You could tell she's having fun. She's fully invested in being a lead actor in a Sam Raimi movie and what comes along with that. Oh my God, I feel sorry for that young lady and Dylan O'Brien. He gets his fair share of gore and whatnot splattered across his face. So yeah, they both of them. I like Dylan O'Brien again. I don't want to give things away, but I just like the way these characters sort of, like I said, they change from moment to moment, and I like the chemistry these two actors have and being able to pull off these subtle switches in characters and then the broad switches in characters. Like I said, Sam he's not known for a lot of subtlety, but he can deliver it. But yeah, these actors, I give them all the credit in the world. They made this a fun movie to watch. And speaking of fun, that's going to be my final positive real quick. This is a fun movie. I enjoyed it. Of course I did. Well, you never know. Sam could have come in there and just totally dropped the ball on this one, but he does not. Again, he has those moments where he's winking at you and having fun, and you get the over-the-top gore that you know and love, and he's like, yeah, I know this is what you're here for, so I'm going to give it to you. God bless him. Sam, I think there was a quote, I can't remember the exact quote with him from years ago, where it was something like, I'm not in this for awards, I'm just here to entertain people, and he's so great at that. It was so entertaining to watch this movie, and again, to follow these characters and to deal with all the twists and turns and everything that they have to go through by the end of this movie. As far as my negatives, I will have very few of them. I will say some of the CGI is a bit wonky. I was kind of a little disappointed with a little bit of that. I'm like, come on, Sam, I love you when you do practical stuff. Although I will say it's kind of weird because there's CGI stuff, but all of the blood and the goo and the nasty and the dirt and snot and blood and all that shit, that's very real when it gets thrown on his actor. So I'll give it a little credit for that. But yeah, some of the CGI is a bit wonky. I live with it because I'm having fun with the movie. My only really other negative is I have seen some, and I guess because it is Sam Raimi, some of the advertising maybe leans toward a horror film or something like that. This isn't a horror movie. It's got a few horror elements in it, obviously because of who is directing it, but it's more of a thriller. So don't go in there expecting some, like I said, don't expect Evil Dead 2. This isn't some balls to the wall crazy horror flick. It's a thriller, and it's a lot of fun with great performances and a great director just having a blast on the screen, and he knows exactly what he's delivering here. So yeah, my final verdict for this movie is to go see it. Oh my God, it's an original story directed by one of the greats, in my opinion. Sam Raimi. I could do a whole episode just gushing. One of the highlights of my geekdom life is meeting Sam Raimi. I was just the best. But yeah, he delivers here. Rachel McAdams, it's great to see her diving headfirst into this role. And yeah, she carries the movie, and Dylan O'Brien right there with her. He's putting in the work, and it keeps you entertained all the way through with some great twists and turns. So yeah, go see this movie. Support it. I'm going to go see it again because I really had a fun time with it. But yes, definitely support it. Go watch it in the movie theater. That way Sam will make more movies. God, I wish he would make more movies. I hate when he moved into being a producer and we kind of lost him doing a regular movie here and there. But if you all go out there and see this movie and it makes some good money, he'll be back directing something else. And I know he talks about doing more comic book movies, but Sam, as great as that would be to see, please just keep doing original stories, because it was just so much fun to sit in the movie theater and not know what was going to happen and know that you're in the hands of, like I said, just one of the best in the business. So yeah, go see this movie, support it. I had a blast with it, and I think you will too. Especially, again, if you're a Sam Raimi fan, you have to go see this movie. But even if you're not, you're still going to enjoy the movie, because really the performances, and again, it's so much fun. And I wish I could tell you more. God, I wish I could tell you more. But if you want and have seen it, talk to me about it through our social media. I would say Instagram's best way to do it, at Cinematic Travelers Pod, or through the comment sections or whatnot. Subscribe to the show and all that. So we will be back, all three of us. We are going to be continuing on our once a month journey to a galaxy far, far away, as we will be doing Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. We'll be recording that probably sometime this weekend, and I'll have that out earlier in the week. And then we're going to do maybe a little special bonus episode towards the end of the week. You never know. You never know. That's why it's best to subscribe and follow the show. There you go. See, there's a reason. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Go out and see Send Help. Come on, do it. Support Sam Raimi. God damn it. All right. Well, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you listening to me ramble on about my lover, Sam Raimi. I tell everyone I know I've got the smartest and sexiest audience in all the podcast universe, and you never fail to live up to those high standards. And as you are traveling around on this blue and green ball bouncing through the cosmos, I need you to do two things for me. Go out and see Send Help and support Sam Raimi, and go out and do that voodoo that you do so well.
All right, show's over. I'm tired.